The 10 most embarrassing mistakes ever made in history. Number 10. Mars Climate Orbiter. NASA lost a Mars orbiter because half of the team used metric units and the other used English units. The spacecraft encountered Mars on a trajectory that brought it too close to the planet, causing it to pass through the upper atmosphere and disintegrate. Number 9. The Trojan Horse. Historians aren't sure if the Trojan Horse ever actually existed, but if it did, accepting it was one of the biggest and most embarrassing mistakes ever made in history. Built by the Greeks as an offering to Athena, the goddess of war, that would make Troy impregnable. The horse was taken inside of the city gates. That night, Greek warriors emerged from it and opened the gates to let in the returned Greek army burning down the city of Troy. Number 8. Alaska. Russia sold Alaska to the US for 2 cents an acre because they thought it was a useless tundra. Russia offered to sell Alaska to the United States in 1859, believing the United States would offset the designs of Russia's greatest rival in the Pacific, Great Britain. The US agreed to a proposal from the Russian minister in Washington to purchase Alaska for $7.2 million. Number 7. China's Navy. In the 14th century, China abandoned its navy and decided that a policy of isolationism was better for them. History suggests that the country could have been much more influential than any powerful country in history. Number 6. Decca Records turned down the Beatles. On the 1st of January in 1962, before they reached international stardom, the Beatles auditioned for Decca Records at Decca Studios in West Hampstead, North London. In what is considered one of the biggest mistakes in music industry history, Decca decided to reject the band, selecting instead Brian Poole and the Tremolos. Number 5. European exploration of Australia. The Dutch discovered Australia 100 years before the British, but ignored it because they thought it was a useless desert. In 1606, the Dutch vessel Duifke, captained by William Jans, explored perhaps 200 miles of the western side of Cape York in the Gulf of Carpentaria. They made one landing, but were promptly attacked by Aboriginals, and hence did not attempt to explore further. Number 4. Mongol Conquest of Khwarezmia. According to the Persian historian Uyani, Genghis Khan had originally sent the ruler of the Khwarezmid Empire, Ala ad-Din Muhammad, a message seeking trade and greeted him as his neighbor. Persia tried to scare off Genghis Khan by sending back his ambassador without a head. Wrong move. It only brought the wrath of Mongolia down on themselves. Number 3. Hannibal's downfall. Lack of commitment from Carthage to provide Hannibal with siege equipment led him to basically ignore Rome, which basically resulted to Hannibal's downfall. Number 2. The Library of Alexandria. No one knows who was responsible for burning the Great Library of Alexandria, but it was arguably the single greatest loss of knowledge in the world ever. Number 1. The Battle of Savez. The Battle of Savez was a possibly apocryphal friendly fire incident in the Austro-Turkish War of 1787 to 1791. Different portions of an Austrian army, which were scouting for forces of the Ottoman Empire, fired on each other by mistake, causing self-inflicted decimation. The battle took place on the evening of September 17, 1788, around the town of Savez, now Catan in modern Romania. The Turks arrived on the scene 2 days later, and to their surprise, they found 10,000 dead and wounded Austrian soldiers. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and also tell us your next idea for a top 10 list here on Ultimate Fantasy Primo.